Right, we're live, Bill.
All good.
So I don't know if you're in front or behind of me because it happens with different TVs, but we just got a foul on the wing.
Yeah, yeah. I hope all you guys are well. Sorry about how this has all gone on. It's been a bit of a technical difficulty going on with how everything's set up, but we're both here now. We're both watching it, and we're both pretty much doing a watch along now of the England-Germany game. The setup that we did have, I believe it was this one that you'll see on your screen right now. As you can see, this is the formation that England have set up with. I'm confident with Sterling and James, to be honest, because they're both playing in them positions regularly for Chelsea. So I do think that that's going to be comfortable for them. I'm a bit annoyed that we haven't been able to see Tony in action or Tammy Abraham. But yeah.
Well, I'm a bit annoyed that we haven't seen either Abraham or Tony, to be honest. Going to a World Cup with one recognised striker in terms of, has played international football. Abraham had a few caps. Oh, Germany on the break. You've got to close them down a bit quicker than that. I'm sorry. If they go one, do you know what? Awful defending.
Yeah.
Maguire's done well there, but who's getting... And that's the problem with playing three at the back. You can see the three are exposed there. And I think it's Shaw's not getting back quick enough or out to him there. Very, very poor by Luke Shaw. And if Germany are a little bit more calculated there, they're in. Right. Oh, it's him. It's that ref as well. He's a bit harsh, he is. I forgot what his name is, but Sane's looking a bit older. Looks good.
That's what happens at Bayern Munich, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Everyone.
He looks quite a unit, actually. He looked like he's put on a lot of muscle, to be honest, because he was always quite slender, wasn't he?
Yeah, especially when he was at Man City as well.
Can he whip a good ball in? Well defended.
England corner coming up, isn't it? England corner coming up, isn't it, Joe?
Is it?
It should be. Well, that's what I'm seeing.
Oh! I'm seeing a miss by Sterling. Nearly scored 1-0.
Yeah.
Am I behind you?
Yeah, a little bit, but that's fine.
God, Sterling got on the last man there. See, this formation sort of favours possession 30, 40 yards out. Yeah, you're well in front of me. It's a bad ball in, to be honest. He should square that to Kane. It should be 1-0.
There was a couple moments early on where Sterling has been making them runs in behind, and he has been catching Germany's defence quite a lot. But yeah, it's Sterling's, to be fair, looking quite quick off the mark. He's looking very agile. Yeah. And I think that's one thing that favours Sterling, because Sterling plays in that similar system with Chelsea. Coming into the England setup, I don't think he'll have that many problems with.
No. 2-6 still.
Yahoo.com.
2739.
2739 at yahoo.com. Right, should be quite like 3 March.
I don't know if all you guys have seen all what's been going on with Southgate at the minute. I'm not sure if you lot have seen the recent result against Italy. For me personally, I don't think that Southgate's been doing a particularly good job. I think that, to be honest, I think Southgate's been doing a pretty poor job. I was quite a heavy supporter of him once he got to the World Cup semi-finals. I was quite a supporter of him when he got to the Euros final. But after the other day's performance against Italy, I really can't see how Southgate could be here much longer. I can understand him being here for the World Cup coming up. You can't sack a national manager before heading into a World Cup. I think that'd be a stupid idea, but I think he could have potentially been sacked sooner. I don't know Joe's thoughts on it or how he's feeling about Southgate.
I think you got to keep him. You can't sack a manager this close to a major tournament, with this being the last friendly. But I think he's my issues with him are nothing to do with recent performances. My issues are the two biggest games, arguably, since the World Cup final that we won in '66 that England have had. A semi-final against Croatia, where you probably go on and win it, and a final in the Euros to Italy. And for me, both times, the team flaked at around 65 minutes and were done. So my issue is not whether England can... I think Southgate can get enough out of the team performance-wise to grind results out, but he cannot, and in my opinion, has proven in the big games, he can't manage them. His game management. The teams were dead on their feet after 65 minutes in both of them big games.
Yeah.
So that's my issue with him.
And that's the thing as well. I've seen, especially in this game early on, that we are quite a high pressing team. I mean, I've seen Kane, Sterling, and Foden all part of that front three pushing the keeper, pushing the defences. So I can see and understand your point of how they're just running out in the 65th minute, 65th minute.
But you've got to have some game management about him. I think if he's a bit clever in them situations, then he might be able to win a big game. Because we're probably going to get through the group in the World Cup, but it's them big games when maybe you don't have possession, maybe you can't press the whole 90 minutes. It's all right doing it in a friendly, very, very different doing it when two teams are going at it, giving all they can. So for me, that's my issue with Southgate.
Yeah, I think one thing that has really impressed me this game is Declan Rice. I mean, he's been pretty solid in the midfield so far. I know he's in a midfield 2, I believe he was in when we checked the formations. Or is it midfield 4 with the wing backs sort of involved.
It's almost like it's almost like a 5-3. No, I would say she's got 3 centre backs essentially.
Yeah,
3-4-2-1 is the formation, but I'm just trying to think how they're actually playing because Shaw and James, okay, wing backs. Yeah, maybe Bellingham is holding. I think Bellingham's probably just got a license to go forward a bit more than Rice.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm seeing here as well. Rice is sitting slightly deeper.
We had this conversation the other day, Bill, didn't we? RC Rice's best position as the central defensive midfielder. I don't see him as a box-to-box player.
Yeah, I mean, we've had our disagreements. I see him more as a number 8 or a box-to-box. I think that's where he's been playing better, especially with Souček sitting in the DM role. The defensive role that Declan Rice was in, obviously coming through, he was a centre-back, then he moved to CDM. And I think then bringing more solid players like Souček in, it allows Rice to push forward more. So I think him going more up as a box-to-box number 8, I think that's what's suiting him more. I could see Declan Rice because a lot of people don't really see it, but he is quite a technical player. I think he has got good footwork and he has got quite
he's technical. He plays the short passes really well. He puts himself in a position where he can receive the ball. But I just don't know if he's got the legs for a box-to-box midfielder, if I'm honest.
Mm. But I think, like you said, that's one of the biggest things with England, isn't it? I mean, they just haven't got the legs to last out a 90-minute game.
No, that's where they've struggled in the real big games in recent years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, the final against Italy, I'll be honest with you, it got to the point of a bit of embarrassment. And Croatia, actually not both the same. It hit about 65 minutes and the players were done.
Yeah.
Like, I understand giving everything and being on your knees, but the other teams just seemed like they still had a bit of energy. And we were, doing everything we could to not lose the game rather than, having a little bit to try and go win it.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, I've given Southgate so much credit. I mean, I've the fact he got us to a World Cup semi-final, a Euros final. Yes, could we have won the Euros? Probably. Could we have potentially beaten Croatia in the semi-final? I think our heads dropped too quickly for individual players. I don't think that was potentially Southgate's fault.
You think as well, both games we went ahead very quickly within 5 minutes in both games.
Yeah.
Did that hinder us in a weird way?
I think it allowed England to sort of get a bit of relief, and I think that's where the problems lies. They think that they can chill out a bit more, and then they lose a bit of focus. They lose their head a little bit. They're not fully focused. They're not fully concentrated.
Also, I remember when Shaw scored against Italy, Croatia was like fresh on my mind. And I remember just thinking, I know this sounds really daft, but because it's like a Euros final, but I remember keep thinking, don't celebrate too much. Save your legs, save your legs. I know that's a real negative thought, but yeah.
It is, yeah, it is. I've had a real issue seeing this, but Pickford I'm not sure if he's injured or he's out at the minute, or
don't think he's injured.
They just haven't picked him, but I think that's injustice for me. If you can start Maguire, I don't see why Pickford shouldn't be in the lineup.
Do you know what? I disagree with Maguire starting because he's been so poor. But the only position on the field where I'd say, yeah, do you know what? They've never let your side down is goalkeeper in international football. So as much as I love Pope, and I think he probably will end up the number one very soon, I wouldn't drop Pickford.
No, and I think that's one thing as well. Like, I understand Southgate getting a lot more players to play for England and get the caps in, so then they are more ready for the World Cup. But for instance, Ivan Toney, they've brought him in. I'm really looking forward to seeing him, and I'm really looking forward to potentially seeing what he can do in the World Cup. But
is he on the bench tonight?
Is
he on the bench tonight?
Ivan Toney is, I believe. But Stones is laying on the floor currently, and Kyle Walker's warming up. So that's not looking good ahead of the World Cup.
I've just watched it. His hamstring's gone. He's off. That's a hammy, that is.
And that's 35 minutes in.
Yeah, you don't get back up from a hammy like that. That's done. Yeah, he's 100% off.
Yeah.
That's not good for Stones, who was probably hoping to get some more football, club football for City. That's a good 6 weeks out, I'm afraid.
I can guarantee you now that Southgate is going, I wish I didn't leave Tomori out for this. He needs a centre-back now, especially with Stones going out. I know that we've got some options. I've seen Mark Guehi has been called up to the squad. I'm not sure if he's on the bench tonight. I've seen Kyle Walker warming up, so I believe he'll be the one to be brought on for Stones. But that's not a good sign for England, losing one of our main centre-backs.
Just having a look at the formation. Squad. Yeah, Gui is on there. Abraham, Toney. Hungary are 1-0. Italy are 1-0 up at Hungary.
Well, Hungary beat Germany 1-0, didn't they?
Yeah, Hungary's a good side. I mean, they absolutely give teams a nightmare in the World Cup. Absolute nightmare they were for teams.
Well, they've got that player from, is it Salzburg or Leipzig? They both, for some reason, I just can't split the two. One plays in Austria and one plays in Germany. But
is that Zolsplay or whatever his name is?
Szoboszlai, yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, that one. He's quite a good player from what I've seen of him. He does look like quite a good player, and playing in Europe as well. He's been playing quite good. But just to let you guys know who are watching, we do have Stones out injured. He's just gone off the pitch, and Walcott has just come on for Stones. Ball in there. Luke Shaw's cleared it away. I mean, our defence has been looking all right, if I'm honest. It's a bit ropey at times, but all in all, we're looking quite solid. But like Joe was saying, come the 60th minute, that's going to be the real test to see whether the legs actually go or not. To be completely honest, from what I've seen so far as well, I think Sterling's been our main threat at the minute. He's been so quick, and I've been saying this as well. The German defence are so young and strong, some of them, that I think having Kane plays into the Germans' sort of way of playing or defending. They like that big, strong player that they can play up against and push up against because they are quite strong players. But with Sterling, he's small, nippy, and he can just get away from anyone in a flash. He's so quick, agile, skillful. So, yeah, Sterling, I think, has been our main outlet for now and our main threat going forward. But this is where I'd like to see Ivan Toney come into it as well. Toney isn't just big and strong. He has actually got a bit of pace about him, and he has got a great shot on him as well. So one thing I would like to see is Toney playing, even if he gets brought on. But yeah.
Well, the thing is, if he gets brought on as well, this is essentially as a friendly. We're relegated from this Nations League jobby. He's got to get minutes. He's got to get at least 25 minutes. Otherwise, there is no point bringing him on.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that point. I think that with... we have a lack of depth in the striker position. We have Kane, Toney, and Abraham.
We've got Kane, and Kane.
That's about it. I mean, Tammy Abraham, you can remind me if he has actually played for England yet or had a cap.
Yeah, he's got a few caps, yeah.
He's got a few caps, so he's got a little bit of experience playing for England. But Toney, for instance, he's had none yet so far, and it's been a real shame because I would have loved to see him at least have a couple caps under his belt. So then if we do need to bring him on, or God forbid Kane doesn't, but if Kane does get a serious injury in the World Cup, we could be looking at a real risk going forward, I think.
Yeah. I don't like Shaw in this position. Well, I don't like him on the field, but we've got no other player.
I think, well, I was saying this earlier, that Kyle Walker-Peters, he plays as right back for Southampton, but he has actually played left back, and I wouldn't mind him.
Yeah, he might, especially if he's picking up form. I just don't like Shaw at all.
I think Chilwell would do quite well.
He was one of our best players in the tournaments, really, both of them. But
yeah,
not for me. Well, I say both of them, the Euros, because it was more Trippier that played there in the World Cup, I think.
Yeah, the World Cup was more Trippier at left back, but definitely the Euros Shaw took it a lot more, took that position. Yeah, I can't. I would have Chilwell over Luke Shaw, to be honest, and I would also have Walker-Peters over Luke Shaw.
Honestly, but Chilwell, he's not getting game time as well. And Chilwell Shaw is just, what a horrible decision. You lose either way, in my opinion, there. I know that's really, I just don't think any of them are in great form or are good enough to be at a World Cup winning side.
Yeah. I mean, Chilwell came on for Chelsea against West Ham and scored. He came on. I'm really not going to be looking forward to the World Cup, if I'm honest. If Maguire is staying in the World Cup squad, I think the problem is Maguire's not really playing for United, is he? He's not really. I can't
No.
see him getting ahead of Martinez and I think with United,
No, Martinez. Everyone was mugging him off after a couple of games. I reckon he'll be their best signing. I think he's really decent.
I think
Unfortunately, he's not
Malacia.
English, but
I think Malacia, in my opinion, with down that left side, they had Luke Shaw. They did have Alex Telles as well, but I think Malacia coming in.
You see how Shaw just almost took his eye off the ball, then just run it out.
Yeah,
Like
they're 0-0, nearly almost going into half time, and they still feel like they can just time waste and just not really bother. And it is getting quite boring, to be honest with it. And I think that's one of England's biggest problems. We have got a comment come through, Joe. Who's going to be the surprise pick in the England World Cup squad?
I think that depends on the next few Premier League games and form, but I mean, that ain't a bad shout for Walker-Peters, because I'm looking at Shaw here and I think I'd rather have Manan left back. I'm sorry. Look, the ball goes out wide again. Positionally, he's everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He's not for me. He's not for me at all.
Especially with Maguire in there as well. I can't. No United players should be getting in at the minute, apart from in the England squad, apart from Rashford. Oh, Sterling's just had a shot game.
And even Rashford. Yeah, I think I'm coming to it. But even Rashford needs to sort of keep up his levels because he's obviously been off for quite a while. So Rashford, to be honest, could be a surprise package.
Rashford now has had 2 chances through on goal that have pretty much they've been 1-on-1. Sterling has, and he's missed twice now. First one going down to the keeper's right-hand side, and keeper made a good save, to be honest. But the second one, he just drilled it into the keeper's legs, to be honest. I can't, Walker-Peters, I think, and Rashford, I think, could be shouts in there. But like you said, Rashford just hasn't been consistent enough at a good level. If he maintains this level going forward closer to the World Cup, I think that he could be picked up. And I think that would be a good decision. But Harry Maguire, I think Southgate's escape with playing Maguire is he still plays for United. And I reckon he will still be playing for United, but in the Europa League games. And do you know what I mean? On them sort of games, the FA Cup games or any of them sort of games, that's where I can see Maguire being used. And I think Southgate will use that to his advantage and say, see, Maguire's still getting minutes, so I'm actually able to still play him. 2 minutes of extra time now going into half time.
Do you know what? I think Bellingham and Rice are working really well, to be honest with you. Breaking up the play, doing really well.
Yeah. Them two in the midfield have been very good, to be honest. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're really, they're passing the ball well. Once they win it, they're sort of looking up and looking for that dangerous pass. For me, it's just all down this side of Shaw's side. Looks, ropey.
Yeah, I want to try and see James get involved more. And I know, obviously, coming as a Chelsea fan, this won't surprise you. But James, for me, has been the best right back so far. Over like, English-wise. Sorry, let me clarify that.
Yeah, he's been good. I think it's difficult for him playing in such a Chelsea side at the moment that's not really settled as well. It's quite difficult for him to have a consistent performance with a team that are a bit ungelled. Do you know what I mean?
Well, Potter's actually at the game tonight.
Yeah, I know. Sat next to Shell, isn't he?
Yeah.
Sat next to our friend.
So maybe he's looking, seeing how
she should have asked him to come on our stream.
Hey?
She should have given him a little cheeky card for starting 11.
Yeah. Get him on the show next week.
Done some promoting, yeah.
I just can't. Every time Germany go forward, I can see a goal coming out of it. And every time England go forward, I can see us I can see, Germany. Every time we go forward, I can see Germany stopping the goal. That's how it's coming across.
It's surprising that Southgate's almost set them up to counter-attack. Seem to be like every man in their own half quite a lot of the time, England.
Yeah.
Whereas Germany seem to be a little bit more willing to consistently commit people.
I think that's the thing as well. I think Southgate, the way he sets up, he's so cautious and he's so defensive. And that's one of the reasons why Maguire has played well for England, is that he gets so much defensive cover that he is able to look like a good defender. A lot of people slate Maguire, and I think a lot of issues came when he cost £80 million, when he got given the captain's armband. Both things weren't really his fault. I mean, I don't know too much about it, but unless he went to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the time and said, look, make me captain, I can't see how Maguire being captain has been his fault. No. Yes, he could have handed the captain armband in, but I don't think who would want to give the captain's armband in at Manchester United. Do you know what I mean?
No one. You'd be ridiculed if you said you wanted to give it in.
Yeah, exactly. So he didn't really have a choice in that. His performances in a back four, he is a relegation side player. He's a battling relegation defender in a back four. In a back five, he is, I would say, a top 10 centre back.
Yeah, decent. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. Well, I'll be back in 2 ticks, Bill, and then we'll go through some bits, yeah?
Yeah, that is all fine. It is officially half-time, 0-0 at the break. But yeah, so it's just, I will keep talking for now. Joe's going to quickly pop off, but he'll be back any minute. But yeah, I don't know. Guys, let me know down below how you lot are feeling. How are you lot watching the game? Are you lot just watching us watch the game? I can't see how we could be. I can see us nicking a 1-0 win, but equally I could see them smashing us 3-0. The chances they've had compared to the chances we've had, it's been quite a close game, but Germany just looks so ruthless going forward compared to us. When we go forward, there's 3 of their defenders, maybe 2 against 1 or 2 of our attackers. Whereas when they go forward, we've got 6 defenders and they've got 7 or 8 going forward. So it's quite a close one, to be honest. I am looking forward to the second half, though. I just want to quickly pop up on the screen now, as you guys will see, is the formation. So far during the game, Pope, he's been all right. There's been a couple moments where I've actually been quite worried, where he's gone to clear the ball or he's misread how much time he's got on the ball and he's miskicked it. So I'm quite nervous about that department. Maguire, Dyer and Stones. Obviously, Stones has gone off now for Kyle Walker, but Maguire's actually been not too bad, in my opinion. I think he's actually done pretty decent. Dyer as well, I think. But with the defence, the problem comes is they get overly rated. There's a back 5 tax, if you will. And when you're in a back 5, you have so much cover. If you look in front here, Shaw, Bellingham, Rice and James are all covering that back 3. And I think what happens there is the fact that they have that cover, especially with Rice being such a defensive-minded player as well. The centre-halves do get cover and they actually look better than what they potentially are. I mean, Eric Dyer, for instance, he's been doing all right for Tottenham on his current form, but he's not a great centre-half. Same with Maguire. Stones is probably our best centre-half, our best English centre-half. Tomori, Guehi as well. I think they could have been potentially starters ahead of Maguire and Dyer. But yeah, looking on current form, I can understand Dyer being in there. 10 out of 11 of them players, I believe, should be playing for England, with Dyer, Stones, Pope, Rice, James, Bellingham, Shaw, Sterling, Foden and Kane, all currently on form, playing really well. Sterling and Foden, obviously. I think with Sterling and James, I can speak as a Chelsea fan. Obviously, they play in their preferred positions, so I do think that is quite good. But Sterling, I think he's used to playing in that position now with Chelsea. Same with James in that position. And I think that they're looking not too bad, to be honest. I think with Rice and Bellingham in midfield, me and Joe were speaking during the first half, I think them two were playing pretty solid in the midfield. Luke Shaw, there's so many questions. Chilwell over him, someone who I called as well, Carl Walker-Peters. I think he's pretty solid, and he has been playing left back for Southampton. He could play over on that side. I'm not sure how I feel with Foden and Sterling in them attacking midfield or winger sort of position. They do tend to drift off wide. So for there, I'm not sure how that's going to crack on. But yeah, when Joe gets back, which he is looking like soon, we are going to discuss certain topics, and we are going to make our combined England 11 currently.
Sorry, I am back. I was trying to get up together because I was a couple of minutes behind you, so I've got it on the TV. I believe that we should be aligned.
That is all good. I was just saying how that my opinions on what the lineup was, the squad that we're currently playing with. Now, Joe, I want to give this to you, right?
Yeah.
If there is one player, one past English player that you would want to bring on in the second half for England, who would it be?
That's a really good question, actually. Gascoigne.
Paul Gascoigne.
Oh, mate, he's a genius.
Not Rooney, Beckham.
But to be honest, do you know what? It's quite a random one, but for this particular game, who would I want to bring on? For this particular game? Steve McManaman.
Steve McManaman.
Width, dribbling. He's not a modern day player at all. He used to dribble God knows how far. But if I could have one player to change the game tonight, this game, it would be McManaman. If it was one player to win the game, it would be Gascoigne. He's a genius.
See, now you've gone with more attacking approaches. My one, for me, is actually Steven Gerrard. Now, we did speak about this on a couple of weeks ago on the show. We did start, bench, sell, Lampard, Gerrard, and Scholes. And I actually think Gerrard is that type of player we need for England right now. I think we need that leader.
Did you not think Declan Rice can be that leader?
He's too young.
But I still think he could potentially be that leader, you know.
I think we had a good... when we had Jordan Henderson don't get me wrong, he is nowhere near the level of Steven Gerrard, but on the leadership level and dragging players through and telling them to get off their backsides and put in some work, I think he was on a similar level to Gerrard.
Yeah.
I think that, in all honesty, I think that Steven Gerrard is that type of player that we need, especially if you're saying about the stamina. Do you know what I mean? Losing it in the 60th, 65th minute. We need Gerrard to be on that pitch to say, guys, we're not dropping now. We need to keep up the tempo. We need to keep it up.
But it's not just keeping the tempo up. It's game management. It's knowing when to take your foot off the gas as well. You cannot be, especially in tournament football, when you've got a game every 3 days, 2 days, 3 days, you cannot be on the gas all the time. You have to be very clever. And actually, it comes back down to having a leader. Do we have someone like that at the moment that can say, look, control the game when they're in the game? It's all right having tactics beforehand, but tactics go out the window when you're in big tournament football.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think I personally would bring Tony on now. What difference does it make if Kane stays on to 70 minutes to now?
What are we going to lose? That's
nothing. I mean, Kane could come on now. Kane could score 1 or 2 goals in the next 20 minutes. But what does that tell you? How does that help you?
I think the biggest thing is we're out of this tournament. We've been relegated out of the group. We've been booted out of the group. So there is nothing to lose. And I think I would have actually liked to see a completely different lineup. I would have liked to see Guehi start. I would have liked to see Tomori in. I would have liked to see the likes of
Can Gray play left back? He can, can't he? He has played left siders, hasn't he? Or am I losing the plot?
I don't know if you're thinking about, but I'm thinking about Palace's Mitchell. He plays left back for Palace.
Yeah, I know Gray plays centre back, but I'm just seeing if he's played. He is centre back, isn't he?
Yeah, Gray's a centre back, and I would have
don't
liked
know
to
if
see
he
a lot
played
more.
left of that side, because if you've got quick wing backs like James and anyone else other than Shaw, then you could arguably look at playing 3 centre halves.
I think, yeah, but
would you not? If you're playing 3 centre halves, yeah, Bill, 3 at the back.
Yeah.
I mean, call me crazy. Would you not rather Sancho in that left wing position over Shaw and give him defensive duties?
No, I would rather have Chilwell over both of them. Sancho.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. I just didn't think Shaw. I think everything good that came from Germany was down Shaw's side that half.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I actually disagree. I know this may sound mental, but I saw a lot more of a threat down the right hand side with James and Stones, now Kyle Walker. I know them play Kyle Walker and Reece James on the right are better than Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw on the left. Let's not mix that up. But from what I've seen, there's been a lot more fouls down the right side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, moving on to the next point now, I do want to discuss this with you, Joe. Who would you put in your starting 11 for England currently? Take injuries out of it, take form out of it, current players. Well, no, add form into it, but take out any injuries, take out any of that. Who would you currently have in a starting 11 for the World Cup for England?
Wow, it's funny you should say that, Bill. This is what I made earlier.
Now,
bearing in mind I've been mugging Shaw off, but it's him or Chilwell. It can be anyone. We haven't got another left back.
I haven't actually got my image of this, but what I will say is James, Tomori, and Stones, I agree with.
Yeah.
I would put Pickford in goal, and I would put Chilwell left back. My 3 in midfield would be... I agree with Rice and I agree with Trent. And a lot of people may question Trent in midfield. He has played for midfield for England before. I don't think he actually wants to play midfield, but his defensive ability is not all that. And I think him going forward, his passing ability and his vision, I think could be used so much better in the midfield, especially because we do have James right back. I understand for Liverpool, you haven't really got that option as right back. But for England, with James, Kyle Walker, Trippier as well, I think any 4 of them would go in. And I think defensive capabilities-wise, I'd have all 3 over Trent. And I do think Trent's ability and level of the game, I think he deserves to be in the squad. So I think in midfield, yeah, I'd agree with him. Foden, yes and no. I would, as a Chelsea fan, say Mount, but Mount has just not been up for it lately.
He's
so
been off, isn't he?
One person I would argue, though, is James Maddison. I think James Maddison has actually been...
He wouldn't make the squad for me.
You don't think Maddison would go ahead of Foden?
Not in my opinion. I mean, he's in a team that's absolutely getting smashed every week at the moment. Dead ball wise, he's good, and he can play a forward pass. But he's another one with not a lot of legs.
Yeah.
And I mean, when you talk about legs, the one player in my starting lineup that definitely has got a good set of legs on him, I'm not chatting him up, but it's Saka.
I can't. I'm not having Saka.
You're not having Saka?
No.
What, in your starting lineup? Or
no.
You're having him in your squad, surely.
I'm having him in my squad, but not in my starting 11. My starting 11 would go... So, with that... Sorry, just to quickly pull up that image. I agree with your defence, your keeper, midfield. I would change Pope for Pickford. I would change Shaw for Chilwell, but the midfield three would stay the same. Potentially Foden or Maddison, in my opinion, it's a bit of a toss-up. The front three, I would have Sterling on the right, Kane up front, and Rashford on the left. That's my opinion. I wouldn't have Saka in the squad. I don't think Saka... If we're looking over the past couple of seasons, Saka has outperformed Rashford 100%.
He's outperformed the whole English team, other than... No, look, ready? Look, I'll get this up. He's outperformed Sterling. He's outperformed Trent. He's outperformed Rice, Tomori, Stones.
Has he outperformed Tomori, though?
100%.
What, in an international level? Or at club level?
Tomori hasn't had loads of... No, at club level, as a player.
Because for Tomori at AC Milan, when Milan won the league with Tomori, by the way, he was in the squad. They were so lucky.
We're back on, aren't we? Back on.
Yeah, they've just kicked off for the second half. Tomori at Milan, just to quickly finish on that point, he won the league with them, and he was a vital part of AC Milan's defense.
He's a good player. That's why he gets in my starting lineup. But Saka, for the last 2 years, I can't think of a more consistent player in the Premier League.
If Saka won the league, then I would agree that he outperformed Tomori.
No, Bill, you can't say that.
What has Saka won with Arsenal?
Yeah, but you can't say that when it comes to international football, because it's not like you're just taking all the players of the team that's won the leagues. It's impossible.
No, but you said about
consistency. Individual consistency. I can't think of another player that's consistently performed week in, week out than Saka. Even after he missed the penalty, he's just been different class. I thought he was offside there. Yeah, he's put his flag up in the end, but.
Just quickly, Joe, what minute are you in?
I'm on 41, 42, 43, 44 seconds-wise. 45, 46, 47, 48.
On what's minute-wise? 46?
Well, no, I've got, 46, yeah.
Yeah, you're slightly ahead of me, but that's fine. You're about 20 seconds in front of me.
Well, Germany are looking dangerous at the moment. Oh, what a ball. Oh, he's just got to pick someone out here, does he? It's good defending. And now Sterling's going to be bringing the ball up the other end. Oh, it's a big run here. If you can square it. No, he hasn't seen it. You donut. The ball was on. Sterling didn't see it. Did you see it?
I'm currently on 47 at 47.15.
Yeah, so you must just gone past it now.
I'm just watching it now. Apologies for the delay, guy. This was a last-minute watch-along thing, and it's sort of been hit or miss so far.
All missed.
All miss, yeah. We've had a lot of technical difficulties going on behind the scenes, but we are live and we are doing a watch-along now, thankfully.
That's great work by Foden. Ding little ball. Sterling out wide. He's got the overlapping run. Sterling. You'll see it coming up, Bill. He just doesn't quite get hold of the shot there.
Mate, this is...
They look youthful, Germany, though. They've definitely got more youngsters in. They've been an aging team for quite a while, but they don't look aging at the moment.
Yeah. I think one thing with Bayern Munich, may I add, they have been known for building freaks, like absolute tanks. And you can see with Leroy Sané now. I mean, he was a little nimble, agile player that actually suited Guardiola's system, because Guardiola quite likes that small, nimble, quick, agile sort of player. But as soon as he got shipped off to Bundesliga into Bayern Munich. That was it. He turned into some freak of nature.
Oh, that's going to be a penalty. I'll tell you what, when the review comes up there, my first look at that is a penalty. And I think is there any VAR tonight?
Can't tell you.
Because I'm telling you what, the first look that I look at this and I think penalty. Because he goes right, left. That's a penalty. It's a stone wall penalty. If it goes to VAR, it's a penalty. There's absolutely no doubt about it. I looked at a penalty. It's a penalty.
Has it been given?
Well, if it goes to VAR, there is, Bill. There is no doubt. Yeah, it's a penalty. They will get a penalty. Bill, it's one of those. If anyone's watching me live now, just remember I called it. You have to give a penalty. There isn't a, oh no, it's a penalty. The penalty's given. And he hasn't even given it yet.
Mine's
anyone watching, guys, just so you know, it'd be good if we had Budge on here tonight because he'll tell you as well. He makes contact and he doesn't get the ball and he completely swipes him. There's a penalty to Germany. There you go. Penalty's been given, guys. It was always a penalty. Clumsy from Mr. Maguire again.
Shock.
Absolute clumsy. Ref has got no other outcome. You know, anyone who says that's not a penalty, don't watch football. It's absolute blatant. And it's not only that. Not only did Maguire give the penalty away, he gave the ball away and then tripped him up. You couldn't make it up. You could not make this up.
Right,
Maguire,
I'm logged back into it. What minute are you in, Joe?
51-20.
You're like 30 seconds behind me. I'm on 50-50.
Yeah, well, it'll come up now, Bill, for you. Not only does he give the ball away, he literally passes the ball 4 yards to a Germany player. He then trips him up. It is.
I'm watching it now. Oh, mate, that is so poor. I hate Maguire so much. Guys, if you're watching this, actually put in the comments, hashtag Maguire out. Get him out.
Wait, watch this, though. Hashtag Pope saves. Go on, Popey boy. Oh, it's an easy penalty. What a penalty that is. Good pen.
Mate,
and
that...
Fair play. Do you know what, though? The England team need this. You've chosen Maguire, Southgate. You've said, right, I'm sticking with Maguire, okay?
Yeah.
Because he's never let me down. Well, he's let you down tonight, hasn't he? He's let you down tonight, Gareth. So, Gareth, if you can hear me, I completely wholeheartedly agree with your decision. He's given the ball away 2.5 yards away, and then he trips him up. Do you know what? If you've got any brain as a player, you say, right, I've given the ball away. Just hold my position now. Let's not do anything stupid. I've given the ball. No. Players that are not playing well, they don't just make mistakes. They make a mistake after a mistake. Do you get me, Bill?
You're going to hate me for this comment. Pope, I know it's a penalty and I know you can't be harsh on keepers, but Pope make no effort to save that.
No, he just didn't read it. I think his body was going to go the other way. But what is Maguire doing, Bill?
Mate, he's so clumsy. He's a lump of just...
But Bill, if you're the manager, yeah, and you're doing like training and stuff and you're speaking to your players, if you say to them, look, you've lost the ball, you've made a mistake, yeah?
Yeah.
Looked like an handball there, to be honest. And you've made a mistake. You're saying to your players, right, you've made a mistake, get back in position, don't give anything silly away. He's literally give the ball away and then tripped him up.
Mate, he's a plank of wood. Here you go. Nana's just come in. Harry going from bad to worse, 100%. He has been outrageous.
Who have we got in?
Nana.
Yeah. To be honest, I feel a bit sorry for Harry because in this team, there is no control. And actually, say what you want about Harry, he can control that front line, make some passes. There's just no control in this team. And I think this next half hour is going to be really interesting because I fancy Germany to really want to give us a bit of misery here, to be honest.
Well, Go on.
I know it's only a friendly, but they'll enjoy this. Make no mistake about it.
Well, they've still got something to fight for, haven't they?
Well, I don't think there's anything to fight for in this Nations League. It's absolute garbage.
I'm going to speak open and honestly about it. I know the World Cup and I know the Euros, but my knowledge on the Nations League, I have no Scooby about, to be completely honest.
Well, it was to replace friendlies, and you can qualify, I believe, for Euro tournaments if you win it, but it's just glorified friendlies. Oh, come on, Rice, you've got to play the ball forward again. They're not using the pitch. There's Maguire. Okay, Maguire, that's not a bad ball. Maybe you should play up top. Come on, James. Good ball, James. Oh, you donut. Bellingham. Get your shooting boots on.
I just can't.
The man flu.
Shaw, for me, right? The thing with Shaw is he used to get mocked a little bit, didn't he? And he was fat and oh, I'm a sneezing. Apologies. The thing with Shaw,
do you know what? That's good play from Rice because he's actually taken. And Bill, this is what I mean earlier. Could he be that person? Because he's actually taken the game here to him a little bit. He's coming out of position. He's trying to make something happen down that wing. And I can see by his face, he's sort of saying, right, we're better than this.
Yeah. I just think he's too young to be able to be as demanding as what we need.
I would normally agree, but I think although he's young, he's very old in terms of his mannerisms on a football pitch.
Yeah, he is very well. I mean, they've had West Ham have had to rely on him, really, haven't they, for a little while?
And that's only going to help him from sort of a captain perspective.
Yeah,
and you're right. Like West Ham look to him as their sort of their anchor, really, for their club. Yeah. Right, come on, James. See, James looks up there. He says to himself, what's in the middle? And the answer is not a lot.
Yeah. I just can't. What time are you on then?
I'm on 57:22.
Ah, right. Yeah.
Are you on the All4 app then?
Yeah, I'm watching it.
Online's always behind a little bit. I'm watching it directly through the satellite aerial.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're going to get it quicker then.
I don't even mind. Do you know what? Formation-wise, I don't mind the formation from Gareth. It's not an awful formation. I think we'll win games, but I mean, look, we're approaching 60 minutes now. Where's Ivan Toney? Where's a few of the other lads on the bench who probably deserve some minutes to see if they're good enough?
Yeah.
I'm sounding like Delia Smith now, but where are you?
I think, mate, honestly, I can't believe it. I'm not going to lie, I did not go into this game with high hopes, but it has just been with how when I saw this. Pardon?
We haven't won a game.
Yeah. Have we scored a goal?
Oh, here we go. Dawdy. Oh, he slipped over. Oh, have they not punished us there? Someone tell me how they've not punished us there. My God, get to grips with yourself, guys. Who's that slipping over? That's not Maguire on ice skates again, is it?
I can't. It is outrageous.
This is all going a bit Pete Tong now. Gareth, get your hands
That was the person who slipped there was Eric Dyer, and after he slipped, he stood up and standed there and just watched.
Well, you know my thoughts on Eric Dyer, so we won't go there.
Oh, man. There's so... My mum taught me manners, and she said, if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. So I'm not going to say it.
Let's not say it. Look, Germany playing 1-2s right through. Oh, God. I'm telling you, they're enjoying their football tonight, and I'd be enjoying my football against this England back line tonight.
I would be loving it. I would be absolutely enjoying it.
I'll tell you why. They look disorganised. You got Dyer coming out now, playing out from the back. Pope's rolling the ball to Maguire, out on the left wing to Shaw, who's hugging the touchline, who just gives it back to Germany. Bill, you'll see what I'm saying in a minute. It is disorganisation at the highest level, playing a formation.
What I've just seen there, right? Nicolas Sul, a centre-back who plays for Borussia Dortmund, who did play for Bayern Munich. He's actually quite a good defender, to be honest. I quite like him as a centre-back. He was allowed to run through England and take a shot. If you're allowing the opposing team's defence to run, not even just defence, centre-back, to run through on goal and shoot, it is abysmal. Absolutely
They're taking the mickey of it now. Honestly, you'll hear allays in a minute from the Germans.
Oh, who's coming on?
Draft. Looks like Saka and Mount.
Mount and Saka.
You know what? To be honest with you, Mount might not be a bad sub in this type of game because you need something to be breaking this up because this is getting stupid. Yes, Rice. I'll tell you what, Rice is my man, but this is 2-0. Oh, he's missed it. That's Werner from Chelsea, that is. Thank God. He's missed it. Not even close. Bill, they're cutting us open, Bill.
Right.
Bill, wide open. You're telling me, right? You want to go to a World Cup with Maguire and Dyer at the back?
Absolutely not. I did not ever say that, and I will never say that.
No, I know you didn't say it, but Gareth, lad, come on.
I just can't. I can't see how Southgate thinks this is a good decision. How he looks at Maguire and goes, yes, I want him at the back. Why he looks at Eric Dyer and says, yes, I want him playing. How he can look at the bench and just see Ivan Toney sitting there and think, no, I don't want to play him. It is outrageous.
And Foden looks a bit lost in Gareth's formation. Doesn't bring the best out in Foden because he's not given a creative role. And I think you run the risk with Foden of him being one of these star players that never actually stars for England.
Yeah.
Because of the formation he's put in.
Yeah.
You know?
I just can't see how this is happening. I really can't. How Southgate is allowing this to happen as well. This is the worst part.
Do you know what? James has been all right tonight. I'll give him that.
Yeah, but he's always all right. He's a Chelsea player.
No, he's been solid, decent. He's passing the ball well. Positionally, he's all right, but...
Who's coming on for who, do you think, then? Saka and Mount are coming on for who, do you think?
I think he'll take Foden off, without a doubt.
Do you think he'll take Kane off and put Sterling up front? Do you think he would put Mount where Bellingham's up?
Look, there's a break. Foden. Really not great, Foden. You know that's why you're getting back like that.
I must admit, Declan Rice has been, for me, England's man of the match.
He's man of the match. Yeah, 100%. He's the best player on the park. He's trying to make... Do you know when you can tell someone's not happy with how their team are doing?
Yeah.
You know, he really is trying.
Oh, I see what you mean by Foden there. He had so many options and he's absolutely scuffed it then.
Yeah, he's chose the wrong option. I mean, that's a great ball to James there, but there's no penetration. I mean, that's an awful ball. That is absolutely dreadful. That's a good ball. Whip it in. Oh, unlucky James. James is at least trying to make something happen here.
Yeah.
For me, it's been Rice and James that have been the good players tonight. Watching them,
Coincidentally, both Chelsea Academy players as well.
thanks for reminding us, Bill. But there's no way that you can't play out from the back when you've got the likes of Dyer and Maguire, can you?
No.
There is no way you're playing out from the back. Here comes my man, Saka.
Are you more club or country?
I'm both, to be honest.
Are you 50-50?
Yeah, I love my country. I love my I love my club. Sorry, Tabrice has just text. Guys, let me know if you want me to. Yeah.
Do you want to reply to him?
Yeah, I've replied to him. But that's a good challenge. Who was that? Oh, it's Dyer. No, it's a rubbish challenge. No, I'm joking. That was a good challenge.
So Saka has come on for Foden.
Yeah.
And Mount has come on for Sterling. I think Sterling's done well.
Yeah, I think he's been all right tonight. He certainly popped up in a few good positions.
I think Sterling would have played better if he played where Kane was and Mount came on for Kane.
Can I be honest with you? I think Southgate just thinks, but if I keep Kane on, obviously Kane's got a really good goal scoring record. He might nick one. When actually he should be thinking, look, don't matter if we lose. I need to get some, I need to try out this formation or try this. He's just going for the saving grace sub, really.
They've got Gnabry for Germany. They've got Gnabry on the bench.
Oh, it's two. It's two. Kai Havertz, who couldn't hit a barn door from 2 yards for the whole of the last 2 years. Ben's one in the top corner. And I've got to be honest, there's been a bit of England pressure in the last 5 minutes, but it's deserved. You give players time like that, and that is what will happen.
It's beyond a joke. It really is. Yeah, it's a great finish from Havertz. You can't take away from the goal. But
it is a great finish. But when you look at this, look. Bill, how much space has he got there?
It's too much. I mean, look, I'm a Chelsea fan, right? As you guys know, I absolutely adore Havertz. I'm not saying he's not good enough. I think one thing is that he's made history with the club and he ain't been it. Like, he was here in the first couple seasons. He managed to get a goal in the Champions League. So I like Havertz, but I just can't. Yeah, like you were saying, sorry, Joe. Yeah, it's all over the place.
We got Mish saying Potter was very happy with that. Well, he would be, wouldn't he?
I would take Potter as England manager.
I'd take my mum as England manager.
I'd take Brendan Rodgers.
No, I think he's done all right, Gareth. I'm not getting carried away, but I'll tell you what, this England side looks disorganised.
Right, they've just made Guzans has come on for Ram.
I love Guzans. Guzans,
Inter,
I like him.
Isn't he? Plays for Inter.
Does he? He used to play for Atlanta, didn't he?
Guzans, I was pretty sure he was Inter, from what I remember.
Thought he was Atlanta. Let's have a look.
And Gnabry came on as well, guys, just to let you lot know.
Ryan Guzans. Yeah, he used to play for Atlanta, now Inter. Yeah. Yeah, he's a good player, him. But
I can guarantee you Mount went over to Havertz and went, what a goal, mate. Shame you can't do that for us. I
thought he was joining.
Yeah, there might be a few delays. Go on, Bellingham. No. Bellingham's just taken a shot and it's gone straight into ter Stegen's hands.
To be honest, Bill, this is one of them games Well, you could be looking at 3-4-0 in a minute.
Well, this is one of the games, right, where I could simply say, if we wasn't on live, I'd turn this game off. I couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
I'd turn it off as well.
If this camera was not on, I would not be watching this game.
No.
Because it has been absolutely outrageous.
Oh, Debris is here. KT.
Good evening, guys. Good evening. What's odds 2-0?
2-0 Germany. How are you getting on to?
I'm not sleeping. I'm not but yeah, I haven't seen any of the goals. I don't know the starting 11. But all I can say is I don't think Southgate will be sacked anytime soon. Okay, so that's
no, he won't. No, he won't be sacked.
See, that is the starting lineup. Stones has gone off injured and Kyle Walker came on, and Foden and Sterling came off for Mount and Saka.
Okay, so there's no Ivan Toney. Maguire is
no. Tony hasn't even been given a minute yet because we've got Kane, haven't we? Because Kane's made out of aluminium, he can't get injured. We won't need a different formation. How can you take and not even try another striker? Come on,
Kane is our kryptonite because he's our captain, right? We can't get rid of him, and I feel like Southgate feels like he can't sub him off or anything.
Oh, he's not still there. That's in. That's definitely in. That's 2-1.
I'll 2-1. Well, I mean,
but can we just say, great ball by James again? That's a fantastic ball in.
It is. I must admit, it is slightly delayed on my part, T. So I'm just watching it now.
So having you literally spoke about like this kind of like the kind of England managers tradition where they always say they're going to play players on form, but they always go tight, and they play players who like they believe in, like Kane and Maguire and Shaw, Maguire and Shaw haven't really played for United. And
I mean, I know Shaw's just scored, but he wouldn't be in my starting. Well, he's in my starting 11.
I would have Chilwell
because there's no one else. Walker Peters could have as good an argument as any, to be honest.
Or even Tariq Mitchell from Palace, unless he's injured.
Yeah.
But see, I think having this World Cup, during the season, it doesn't help. And this is like the last game. Anyone can even,
Do you think that might potentially help England though? Because it gives them the time to get a little bit, because everyone's in mid-season. So,
well, I mean, you guys have just said that Stones came off injured.
Yeah, that's a hammy as well. That's 6 weeks.
Okay, so let's say that he's like now racing to like be in the squad, and literally he like won't be 100% for the World Cup, but Southgate will still pick him in the side ahead of Tomori, probably ahead of Ben White, and again, this is the issue now.
I'll take Ben White over Maguire.
I would take Webster over Ben White.
Oh, Webster's decent,
but like we all know. Oh. Yeah, but like we all know that's not going to happen now.
No.
No matter what we all think about Gareth Southgate, and I think he's a decent coach, but he has now got the brakes on, and he is now in that that kind of England manager position where he now relies on the players that kind of got him semi-finals of the World Cup, finals of the Euros. And don't forget, that's kind of almost 8 years on now. So those players, are a little bit slower, possibly wiser, but, there's a new crop of players that should be playing. And those players will not get a chance.
But go on, Saka, my little mate. Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka. Saka makes it. Mount scores it, but mate, that goal is everything about Saka. What are you saying, Bill?
Mount's better.
No, but seriously,
Okay, so
mate, the
now-
little magician makes that goal.
Saka runs forward, makes a brilliant run, lays it off easily
Great
to Mount,
finish.
and Mount with a great finish.
I'll tell you what, though. Saka run through them like they weren't there, did he? A little turn straight through. And
I bet Michelle is buzzing.
What a game to go and watch. But I'm not changing my tune here. We need to keep the ball up top because I don't want it anywhere near that back three.
Yeah.
So are we like being fickle fans here and saying everything's going to be a-okay, or like this result papering over?
No, it's not even about the result tonight. We could nick another one in a minute and win 3-2. I'm not changing my mind.
We could have won. We could have won tonight 5-0, and I still would not be confident going into the World Cup.
No, I mean Maguire. It isn't even the penalty he gives away. It's the ball he gives away 2 seconds earlier. And then
did you see the goal or anything?
I've literally I've not seen anything like that.
So
anything.
Go on, Joe. You tell.
Yes. So Maguire's on the edge of his box, goes to pass the ball, but just passes it directly straight to the German defender about 2 yards away from him. And then rather than getting back in position and going, right, I'll just defend, he then trips him up and gives a penalty away.
Okay. Well, that's
so it's like mistake after mistake, if you know what I mean. Not even just a singular mistake.
But like everyone knows that he's going to start in the World Cup, though.
He can't.
I don't know what's happened to him. I don't know what's happened to the geezer. Someone needs to shake him.
You know what? I think he's a good defender. You know.
Yeah, so do I. Do you know what? So do I. And that's why I'm saying I don't know what has happened to him. Because, he's not the most agile. But actually, positionally, he used to be okay. He used to win a lot of balls, win a lot of headers. He don't even do that anymore. He looks shaky, even in positions which are his strengths, like winning the ball and holding people off. He just looks like he's going to be turned every 2 minutes.
Harry Maguire is a walking tombstone. He is a brick. He is a slab of concrete that is just so useless. I hate him. I have been so patient and so lenient and actually really kind to Maguire. I said earlier in this show, the £80 million wasn't his fault. The captaincy wasn't his fault, being given the captaincy from Ollie. He's had a lot of pressure put on him and he's been unjustly criticised. He has made a lot of errors and I do think that some of the stuff he has done is questionable and I do believe that potentially he should not be starting for Man United. And when you see Varane and Martinez now getting in the mix at the back, they're doing so much better. They're winning games. But I just can't. Enough's enough now. I gave him his credit at international level because I actually did say he was solid. In that back 3/5, he was really good. But now he just looks sloppy in the back 3 and 5 now. There's no hope for him whatsoever, in my opinion. I can't see him getting any better.
But I think he's going to start. My concern actually comes with people like Dyer. What? Look, people can tell me Dyer's played well, and he has played well. And I know to Breeze, and I'm not denying that. But you have to look at capabilities. He is not capable of being a great player. And when you're looking at international players, you've got Tomori, you've got other people. Obviously, Stones has gone off injured.
Guehi.
If they start England with Dyer and Maguire at the back, I can't watch it.
Can you imagine Maguire versus Messi, or Maguire versus Mbappe, or Neymar, or any sort of?
You know what? I think it would be dangerous to watch him against Mbappe. It would be absolutely hilarious.
But you know what? I think something that we are all forgetting here is that the era and generation of, as in that the art of defending has changed over like the short period of a decade, which may seem a long time, but it's not. If we're kind of looking at Tony Adams, Rio Ferdinand, Sol Campbell, those were players one-on-one. You're not going to get any change out of them. Defending has changed now, where you are now relying on your centre midfielders like Makaleli, like Kante, to literally be in positions where they're not going to expose the back four. We have seen now with Van Dijk at Liverpool, he looks shaky because the midfield trio have not been at the races. Maguire, also at United, been very shaky because at Leicester, he had Kante and Drinkwater, who literally did a lot of clearing up. Same with, the only thing I can think of is that if John Terry was in this Manchester United team now, he would look as bad as Maguire.
Because he's had Fred and McTominay in front of him.
The reason I argue that is because Terry, similar to Thiago Silva, was so intelligent that he did not need the pace and agility. John Terry and the likes of Thiago Silva and the players who are not particularly blessed with speed, but are so smart and their IQ of the game, they don't need that. Whereas Maguire is stupid and he is stocky and he is massive. So I think that's the difference.
Penalty.
I'm not saying that Terry was a bad defender, but again, when you kind of look at this,
there could be a penalty here. It's gone to the VAR, and looking at the VAR, I'm sorry, guys, this could be given.
Penalty to who?
To England. I think he's going to give the penalty. There was an off-the-ball incident. He catches him there, and I'll tell you what, this is one of them in slow-mo.
Yeah, that is worse than what it actually is.
That is a penalty in slow-mo. That is a penalty all day long.
What's happened, T? Two players, an England player has gone into slide and he actually managed to tap the ball away. German defender comes into a slide as well, studs his ankle.
I think he's going to give the penalty, yeah?
Yeah, it's a potential penalty check.
I think it's a penalty then.
Yeah, it's a penalty. He's given it.
It is a penalty.
I'm telling you, and this is the thing with VAR, yeah? Certain decisions like this, like Bill, I said the first one was. I said this one was, didn't I?
Yeah.
Certain positions, like certain challenges, they're always going to be given on VAR because when you slow them down and look at them, I mean, that looks horrific. That could be
a red card.
That's a close on red card. Very close. It's an awful challenge. But, I mean, Germany, they were cruising. I don't know what they've done. Maybe they just didn't think England had anything in them. I don't know.
Mate, honestly, it's a yellow card now as well. Could have been given as a red, to be honest.
But VAR, do you know what I mean? In them positions, them type of challenges are always going to be given. Always. Yeah.
So are we looking at glass half full or?
No, my glass is still half empty after this performance.
We could win 10-2. I'm not changing my mind here.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not confident in England whatsoever.
Wow. Well, you know what the media and the papers are going to say.
Penalty. What a penalty.
Was it Harry Kane? Okay. Well, you know what the media is going to say. Great comeback. It shows desire. It shows passion. Coming back from 2 goals down against, like against our old arch enemies. We are now ready to challenge the best, or something like that. They will always put a spin on result like this.
The penalty's top draw, isn't it? It's absolutely top draw.
That penalty was top class. And that's the issue that Southgate now faces. Because I think, let's be real here, Kane has that sort of brilliance in him. But
it's finishing second to none.
For the Euros, he was playing fucking CDM almost, towards the end of the game. And it was outrageous. And we need them attackers to stay forward and play. But yeah, you can't argue Kane's ability.
I think Germany's going to be feeling a bit perplexed by this, to be honest with you.
Oh, mate, Germany. The thing was, we were saying earlier, me and Joe were discussing that Germany were making fun of us. They were doing 1-2s around in our box. Like, they did not care. and we've managed to nick a couple of goals back. We've got a penalty, and now we're winning 3-2. But
wow. So, what do you think Southgate's post-match, talk's going to be now?
Well, I'm hoping it's a real one where he sort of says we weren't at the races today.
yeah,
Because, I mean, we just aren't at the races. And to be honest, since Mount and Saka's come on, different team, Bill, haven't we?
we have looked a lot more confident going forward, I must admit. And
do you know what I like about Saka? He really does make them hurtful runs.
But I think Sterling was doing that.
Yeah, but what I find with Sterling is Sterling's more of a runner for a ball individually. Saka's very much links up play. He plays the 1-2 round people. It's not me doing discredit to Sterling.
Oh, what ball?
I just think Saka is more of a link up player, and Sterling can give you that sort of release that you need. He can
Sterling's
run.
that direct player, isn't he?
Yeah, really direct. Can run 30, 40 yards up the pitch, win the ball, and take that last defender on. Saka's more of a give and go, more running through people, which is, to be honest with you, what England needs sometimes, because I don't think we're the best in possession, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah. I think my man of the match goes between James and Rice for me.
I'll tell you what, Harry Kane, that was half decent. Go on, Saka, keep it in, baby. Oh, give it away.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Joe, but for me, Declan Rice or Reece James deserve man of the match.
I mean, I've liked Rice and James tonight.
I don't think Bellingham's been bad.
I think positionally, I really do like James, the way he positions himself. I think with James, maybe it's, just that consistent. Oh, the keeper's fumbled it. It's in. It's 3-3. It's a keeper error from Pope.
This is why you should have had Pickford. Southgate, if you're listening, Pickford should have been in the keeper position. This is outrageous.
Oh, was it 3-3?
Yeah, 3-3.
I feel I'm missing a game here.
He's Pope's fumbled one. It's a pull shot, really, from. Well, it's an average shot from 30. 30 yards. It's into Pope's midriff. I mean, he can either scoop it up or we can put out a play. He does neither. It just hits his body, bounces out 5 yards from goal, and Havertz has the simplest of tasks, tapping it in.
You know what? International football must be one of the most stressful games of football for anyone.
And this is what me and Bill were saying earlier with keepers. I can't remember Pickford making a mistake like that.
I haven't seen Pickford do that in an England top. I haven't. But he's gone to collect the ball to his chest, and he's just fumbled it. And Kai Havertz on his second goal of the match now.
But I mean, for like players who are fighting to be in a squad who actually know they're not going to be in the starting 11, you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. Like Pope now with that mistake, he now knows he's going to be number 2 or possibly number 3. He would have to have some sort of.
I don't think he will.
For him to even try and displace.
Well, do you think he'll start, Bill?
Yeah, but we've seen with Southgate how, like Maguire, he's given away a penalty, and like he's given a ball away 2 yards away, given a penalty, and he'll start. Southgate doesn't care about mistakes. He just cares about who he actually likes.
I don't think it's just who he likes. I think it's who. Is that Reece James going down off the ball? No, it's not James. I don't know who that is. I think it's who he feels comfortable with, who he feels that he'll be able to get results from, more than who he likes. And I think it's more of who he's comfortable with than likes. I know that's me being a bit pedantic on the wording.
No, it's true. It's true. International management, like you have the players for 2 weeks and possibly play 4 or 5 games in a year, and you have a system. And you try and work out as quickly as possible those players who can play in that system. And 9 times out of 10, no matter what type of form they are in, you are going to pick them. and that's what happens at international, international management. And again, that's
Bellingham's limping. That's not good.
Oh, go Saka! Go on, my boy! Come on, my lads!
God.
Oh, he saved it. I think it was going wide anyway. It's a great save, but I don't think that's going in. Saka just didn't have enough.
I can't.
I feel I've got to watch this. I've got to watch the highlights because it's just crazy.
Is that going in if he doesn't make that save? Let's have a look. Oh, I think it is. That's an excellent save.
Germany have been so risky having such a high line. Yeah, that's a great save from ter Stegen.
Yeah, it was going. I think it might have creeped in.
Barcelona's number 1.
Also, so Neuer is no longer number 1 now.
No, Neuer's not starting.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's not number 1.
Yeah, that is a great save.
It is, yeah. The more you watch it, the better it gets.
Very close, fingertips. He managed to tips it around the post.
So, realistically, are we looking at this as being Gareth Southgate's last major tournament?
Yes.
100%. He could, unless he wins the World Cup, I can't see him staying as England manager. That's my opinion. Unless he wins the World Cup with England, he is not getting another shot with England. Yeah, Bellingham's just come off now for Jordan Henderson. Henderson?
Jesus Christ. I mean, even if Gareth Southgate wins the World Cup, I think he'll still leave. I think, he doesn't want to tarnish that.
How do you feel about Jordan Henderson coming on?
I mean, that's ridiculous. He's been out of form, coming back from injury. I don't understand that. There's James Ward-Prowse, my guy. Who else is there? There's James Maddison that's been scoring a lot of goals and really kind of, being like one of the only shining lights for Leicester. Again, Gareth Southgate has kind of gone to his tried and trusted, generals who can.
Maguire, sorry, T. Maguire's now limping as well, mate. We're all crumbling. We've had Stones with his hammy. Bellingham's gone limping. Maguire's now limping. These are not old players. Bellingham, he's not even. Is he hit 20 yet? It's like 21, isn't he?
Yeah.
You got Ivan Toney, who might as well have popped out and got a kebab and chips today.
He could have stayed at home with a cup of tea and enjoyed the telly.
Honestly, forget about this game. This game doesn't mean anything. We could win 6-0 tonight. It doesn't mean anything. What does mean anything is, right, what positives can we take from tonight? What preparation can we take to the first game? Well, not a lot, Gareth, because you've not tried anything, Gareth, have you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I can imagine his missus says to him, Gareth, we need to spice it up.
I can't see how. Honestly, Bukayo Saka and Mason Mount have been beacons of light coming on this game. We had Sterling with a couple really good opportunities, but with Mason Mount and Saka on, these two have been so lethal going forward. They're so dangerous.
Saka mainly, though. Out of them two coming on, he's really...
Yeah, Saka's made more of an impact.
But...
Do you think it's a level of disrespect calling up players that haven't got a cap, coming into a major tournament and not playing them?
Yeah, I think it is disrespectful. I think you're saying to a player, especially when they've never had a cap before, coming up to a major tournament, you're saying to them, look, you've had a good run of form. It's not just this season, it's the whole of last season. Tony has been in good form. You're saying, right, look, you're being consistent. You've got, I'm going to put you in the squad. Well, what has he put him in the squad for? What for?
I would say to Southgate, if I was Tony after this game, I'd go to Southgate and I'd go, look, we came off of a good draw. We did very well. I think Kane was doing well, but I honestly believe that I could have bagged a couple more goals. I would have said to Southgate if I
You're
was
not
on.
going to say that. You've just been given your international cap. Tony's going to keep his mouth shut.
But mate, Tony's got to say something if he wants an opportunity, because he can't be just sitting on the bench and not even. Was he even on the bench against Italy?
No.
He wasn't even on the bench against Italy, and he's on. I'm pretty sure he's on the bench tonight for Germany, but I'm not sure if he's not been brought on. If they brought Jordan Henderson on, I can't. I don't know. I'm more of. Well, I asked Joe this earlier, and he's very 50-50. I don't know about you, T, but what, are you more club or country?
I mean, put it this way. Would you rather Liverpool win the Champions League or England win the World Cup? I'd rather England win the World Cup.
I mean, England win the World Cup because, I've already experienced that, the euphoria of winning the Champions League in the most emotional way possible.
Yeah.
But if it was Liverpool to win consecutive premierships or England winning the World Cup, I'm going with Liverpool.
Oh, man.
So if you would rather, then let's face it this way, would you rather have Liverpool win the League one season, then the Champions League the next, or would you rather England win the World Cup and the Euros?
England
winning the World Cup and the Euros.
I mean, I'm more club football, I must admit. Since the heartbreak against Croatia, I've not really been 100% hopeful with England.
You know, I think Joe said this. I can't remember if Joe. I don't know if you said this in the group or you said it on a show. The feeling of a major tournament in the summer is just an amazing feeling.
Can you imagine this summer with the weather we had?
Yeah,
running out in the garden in boxes and all sorts.
Exactly.
Couple of strawberries, mate.
And literally, that's what I love about tournament football. It's the summer feeling.
And that is game, everyone. The game has finished. England 3, Germany 3.
And a quick summary for you, Bill, tonight on the performance. Firstly, on the performance. Secondly, on the result. And thirdly, on what we learned tonight for the World Cup.
My summary of the game, first of all, that's what I want to get into. Very boring at the start. Not really much going forward. Very defensive, as always, with Southgate. Very upset with Tony not coming on, them sorts of things. But the summary of the game itself, I think we did pretty well to come back. I think Southgate actually did make some very important substitutions. I mean, Sterling and Foden coming off for Saka and Mount, and then look at the impact Saka and Mount, especially Saka made, is unbelievable. So for my summary, if we base it off of a performance, I'd give it a 7 out of 10 altogether as a squad.
Just looking at the group, we got 3 points from that group from 6 games.
Yeah, that's not good.
My summary is, I thought the game was very ordinary with a bit of flair with Saka added on. Thought Rice was really good tonight. And I thought England looked shaky, consistently shaky. What we learned for the World Cup is that it's going to be pretty much one game at a time. I don't think we've got a style there. Do you know the biggest thing tonight that I've learned is I don't think Foden can work. I don't think you'll get the magic out of Foden in this system with Southgate. That's probably the biggest thing tonight I learned. Go on, Bill.
I was just going to quickly say the biggest thing I learned is we miss Pickford. And that may sound crazy because, Pope only made one mistake. But I actually think Pickford would have saved that penalty. And I know it's a 50-50 and I know We've seen
Oh,
Pickford.
come on, Bill, man.
We've seen no. Hold on, hear me out. We've seen
you can't blame
Pickford
a
with
keeper.
penalties.
Yeah,
We've
for
seen Pickford with penalties.
no.
Against Italy, Pickford made what 3 out of the 5 saves.
Yeah, but you can't make a statement on penalties, Bill.
Yeah, you know that's just.
Pope did not make an effort for that penalty, in my opinion. He
was
stood
wrong
down the
footed.
middle and then jumped out the way.
Yeah, so getting back to mine, in terms of what we've learned for the World Cup, nothing, because he hasn't tried anything or anyone tonight that is a bit different.
It's the same old.
And I feel like in this current system, don't think Foden works. I think Saka has to play, not Foden.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But do you think Saka would be able to last the full 90 doing what he did in the second half when he got brought on?
I've seen him do it loads of times, but personally, me, if I'm Gareth, you're going to laugh at me now. I'm building a passing side and I'm building it around Foden. My whole team's built around Foden.
Foden or Saka?
Foden.
After Foden's performance tonight, you want to build a squad around him?
No, not from his performance tonight. I've told you he ain't going to work in this system. Foden does not work in a counter-attacking system that's built up to defend with 5 at the back, essentially, with 2 holding players and letting 3 people, a big gap between the midfield. That does not work for Foden. Foden is someone that sits 30, 40 yards out, plays the small passes and keeps possession in an opponent's half. Southgate doesn't play that football. Foden will not be able to achieve in that system. He's not a pacey player. He's a baller. And it's no good if you ain't got the ball, if you're trying to stretch lines from the edge of their area to your own half.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I think building a squad around Foden, I disagree with. I would aim to focus on building squads around, you're looking at the likes of Saka, I think. If we look at Saka...
my squad in terms of who it would be built around would be Rice, Bellingham, Foden, Saka. But for me, and it is criminal and it is difficult for English managers, England national team managers, to get the best out of talents. And what I watch Foden every week, the geezer is unbelievable technically.
Yeah.
But then you're watching him in games tonight where he looks completely lost. Now, for me, that has to be formation. He plays nearly week in, week out for City now. He plays Champions League football and plays extremely well against the likes of Real Madrid and the top teams. Yet you've got him tonight playing, looking like he's not even at this level.
But that kind of comes down to Pep. And yes, it comes down to formation. And, it comes down to Foden's, professionalism, because he's following the instruction that Gareth Southgate wants him to do. And,
but we'll not allow him to work. So if you're going to play that system, you're best off having Saka or even Mount there, someone who's used to stretching the lines and don't mind being 30, 40 yards away from a player.
Yeah.
Foden's not that player. Foden is a player that gets in the holes. It's no good having Foden stretched with a massive gap between your middle of the park and the top end.
Well, what the fans will actually say if Foden won't play. This is going to be another lost kid, one of one of the most talented guys or players in our generation, and we're not playing him. He's got less than 50 caps, etc., etc., etc. So Gareth Southgate or whoever's going to take over, damned if you do, and damned if you don't. It's the same with Grealish. If Grealish was playing for, let's say, I would say even Croatia, I think he would excel. I think Foden will excel in Croatia. I think both of them will excel again in a team like Hungary, Austria, because they literally allow those type of players to express themselves, and you see that's the problem right now. Yes, it's a draw and it's a kind of great comeback, but as you guys have been watching the game, there's been no energy from you guys. Like you guys just looked absolutely fed up with like how England set up and how they've played today, and that doesn't bode well coming into a World Cup less than two months.
Yeah, I can't.
Right.
It's difficult. We were losing, and after we scored the first goal, a little bit of hope, but I felt absolutely no joy coming out of it. The second goal, I was like, okay, fair enough. And then when we scored the third and we were winning 3-2, I was like, and it just got to a point where it was boring. I wanted to see Tony. I wanted to see Gahey. I wanted to see some sort of experiments. I wanted to see us try and play something new or try new players out.
I don't think we would have been any worse if we experimented.
No, I don't think that either. I think if we gave Tony a chance, I don't think we would have been any worse. I can't see how Pickford's been left out. I really can't.
When was the last time England experimented with their starting 11?
Probably when Gareth took over.
Yeah, when Gerrard took over and started bringing others.
Yeah, before the World Cup, I would say. Before the World Cup. Right. Anyway, guys.
Yeah.
It's hit an hour and 40.
Hour and 40. So thanks for tuning in. If anyone's tuned in this evening, disappointing we didn't get the result or the performance, but catch us again next Monday at 8 o'clock.
Cheers, guys.